Hello everyone, Mr. Lipchick here, and our topic for discussion is Introduction to Regional Conflict. An unfortunate reality of the present world is that there are regional conflicts throughout the globe. Types of conflicts include economic, political, religious, cultural. There are almost an infinite number of reasons why there are regional conflicts. Economic conflicts involve the distribution of wealth, job opportunities, or access to a valuable resource in a particular area. Political conflicts usually revolve around questions about the role of government and people's ability to participate in the political process within the area. The degree of political representation that people have is a constant area of political strife. Cultural conflicts are sometimes linked to religious conflicts, but the two are not the same. Two cultures, for instance, may be competing over a limited resource. Cultural conflicts happen when aspects of people's ways of life come into conflict, or if one group believes that another threatens their way of life. Conflicts between white society and Native Americans are a part of U.S. history. In the 16th century, Europeans began colonization of the Americas. They wanted land, resources, and the chance to build new lives. These lands, however, were already occupied. For many centuries, there were conflicts between Europeans and Native Americans. The Pequot War in 1637 was the first major conflict between Europeans and Indians. The Pequot were accused of killing white settlers. The tribe refused to give up the suspects. The Pequot were angered over new settlements in Connecticut and resisted. The main Pequot village was burned and its inhabitants killed. There are surviving ancestors of Pequot Indians who have a federally recognized tribal reservation. King Philip's War. The most destructive Indian war in New England history was King Philip's War. Philip, the son of Massasoit and chief of the Wampanoag, became resentful of white intrusion and conflict that was spreading throughout the colonies. Some tribes sided with Philip and others with white colonists. Many colonists were killed or captured, but the militia brought great destruction upon the tribes. Philip himself was killed. Pontiacs Rebellion, 1763. After the British defeat of the French in Quebec, American Indians launched a rebellion against the British. They saw the British as a greater threat to their survival than the French. In 1760, the British commander ordered an end to gifts to the Indians, which they relied upon. The rebellion collapsed in 1763 because the British to make a proclamation forbidding entry into Indian territories. The Seminole Wars were fought between the U.S. and the Seminole Indians of Florida. Georgia settlers believed Spanish Florida to be harboring slaves and Indian raiders. The first war caused Spain to secede Florida to the U.S. The second war resulted from efforts to move Seminoles to Indian territory in Oklahoma. The Indians were defeated and most were removed. The Blackhawk War. the last major Indian-white confrontation east of the Mississippi. In 1804, the Sauk and Fox tribes signed a treaty abandoning land in Illinois and agreeing to move to Iowa. Sauk leader Blackhawk opposed the treaty and rose to prominence in fighting in the War of 1812. His tribe continued to return to Illinois, but in 1832 were driven out by the military. He was pushed west of the Mississippi and pursued. Most of his band were killed. Conflicts can sometimes be caused by crime. They can be caused directly by crime or by the instability caused by widespread crime and lack of security. Poverty can cause conflict when people lack access to food, water, shelter, or the ability to rise economically and escape poverty. The main issue in economic conflicts is scarcity. There are finite amounts of resources, such as oil, on the earth. Most conflicts evolve over a complex web of interconnected causes. Some causes have their roots in environmental conditions. Humans compete to occupy a variety of local, regional, and global ecosystems. That concludes our discussion on Introduction to Regional Conflicts. Thank you for attending, and I look forward to seeing you in the live lesson. Have a great day.